it is 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English in edition. For tonight headlines we have. Giving momentum to the economy of a vulnerable household in Djibouti. More than 114 million people forced to flee an unprecedented global travel crisis. Welcome to our newsroom. The second day of rain was different from the first. Instead of heavy driving rain, this time nature changed its tone. And the rain was gentle and regular, which changed the atmosphere in the city. The capital's main thoroughfares were now decorated with brilliant reflections. Puddles of water created temporary mirrors where building, trees and people could be seen. The main boulevard had become a veritable urban and art gallery, each puddle reflecting a unique picture of the city. Meanwhile, the authorities continue to do their job. Maintenance crew are active, ensuring that the sewers are not blocked and that rainwater can run off efficiently. Traffic is being managed well despite the changing weather conditions, ensuring the safety of drivers and pedestrians. Following the heavy rains in the regions of the night of 26 October 2023 in Tadjoura, the provisional hospitals experienced an incident that affected its ability to provide adequate health care to patients. The downpour caused floodings in the hospital premises, completely submerged the electrical equipment and creating the risk of material damage. Following this event, the prefect, accompanied by various departments, including the vice president of the state, carried out an inspection on the site to assess the potential damage caused by the heavy rainfall on the night of 25 October in urban area. Following this visit, an emergency meeting was held to assess the impact of the torrential rains of the night 26 October. The deputy directors of the deconcentrated technical services as well as the region's police, gendarmerie, army were summoned. The meeting was held in the prefect's offices and chaired by the region's prefect Mohammed Humed Abbas. During the meeting, short and long-term solutions were proposed to deal with the situation. A monthly meeting on port security was held for the first time at the port of Tadjoura. The meeting was attended by the prefect of Tadjoura, Mohammed Humed Abbas, and the vice president of the regional council, Abdul Qadir Omar. The aim of the meeting was to discuss security and compliance with the SPS code, for which the port of Tadjoura was certified in 2021. The meeting was chaired by the Director General of the Port of Tadjoura and attended by port security officials such as DMPSGTD, HDTL, and the Port Harbor Master Offices. At the end of the meeting, participants and the prefect of Tadjoura planted trees as part of the Tadjoura Green Port project. It is encouraging to see that efforts are being made to strengthen port security and promote environmental sustainability through the Tadjoura Green Port project. This initiative contributes to the overall improvement of security and environmental protections in the region. As part of the National Cybersecurity Week, yesterday, ANSI organized a high-level conference to highlight the role of artificial intelligence. The event attracted experts, makers to discuss the implications and opportunities of all in cybersecurity. The workshop covered a wide range of topics related to the AI, from the standardizations of emerging technology to its impact on security and everyday life. Participants exchanged ideas on how standards can be developed to ensure responsible development and use of this revolutionary technology. The conference covered a wide range of topics, including the protections of personal data, the transparency and accountability of AI, and the ethics of its use. participants discussed the need to define clear standards to ensure that AE is used ethically and fairly while guaranteeing the safety of users. One of the speakers, an AE expert, shared his knowledge of current and future development in AE. However, it is imperative that these development are framed by clear standards and guidelines to minimize potential risks. For his part, the General Director of ANSI said that the ANSI conference on AE has been held as an important step towards promoting the responsible and ethical use of this ever-evolving technology. As part of the Play to Learn project funded by USAID and implemented by McDonald, the Sunnah Al-Haya Association is in collaboration with MENFOP organized a workshop this morning to discuss a tool for assessing children with special needs and neurodevelopmental disorders at school. The workshop, to be held at the CFF from 25 to 26 October 2023, will bring together around 20 educational advisors, school headmasters, and inspectors working in the field of inclusive education and support for children with neurodevelopment disorders. The Secretary General of Sunnah Al-Haya, Ms. Samira Ahmed, accompanied by the Inspector General of the MENFOP, Ms. Muna Ismail, the head of the USAID, Saada Idris, and the Director General of CFF, Omar Gele, Ms. Aisha Farah Iltire, launched an important workshop to exchange ideas on a tool for the school evaluations of children with special needs and neurodevelopmental disorders. The workshop was led by Pauline Castain, a special needs teacher, trainers, and head of the Inclusive School Department at Paris Education Authority, and covered a number of topics, including a preamble on the theme of inclusive schooling and an overview of the various neurodevelopmental disorders that many teachers are confronted with in the file. In her speech, the Secretary General of the Sunnah Al-Haya Association, Samir Ahmed, welcomed the collaboration between Matt McDonald, USAID, and MENFOP, which is committed to improving the education and inclusion of children with special needs by putting in place concrete tools adapted to their needs. More broadly, children with special needs and neurodevelopmental disorders are children who, despite the disorder that pervade their development, are inevitable gold mines with the undiminished of academic skills. A contact meeting was held at the Djibouti Chamber of Commerce between the DGA UNDP team in charge of implementing the Tax for Sustainable Development Goals Djibouti project aimed at adapting Djibouti's tax system to development objectives, and the private sector, the Chamber of Commerce, and the CNAD, Djibouti National Employers Confederation, is chaired by the Secretary General of the Chamber of Commerce, Hibu Usman Ahmed. The meeting was attended by Ernesto Mayo, Deputy Resident Representative of UNDP, Mr. Mahmoud Musa Roble, Director General of the Tax Department, and the President of the Senate. The meeting was also attended by the Secretary General of the DHANP, the President of the Djibouti Associations of Chartered Accountant, and the CLE Training Manager. The Tax for Sustainable Development Goals project aims to mobilize the country's internal resources and budgetary spaces, reduce poverty and inequality, promote employment, economic growth, the energy transitions, and improve health and education, among other things. Through the Tax for Sustainable Development Goals project, an inclusive and participatory approach will be adopted with the constant dialogue with the stakeholders. This week, the Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity undertook initiatives to raise awareness and encourage vulnerable households living in the capital of the 5 interior regions to use the banking system. These activities are part of the PEACH project developed in collaboration with the World Bank, which aims to support disadvantaged populations through social safety net and strategic measures to promote the economic inclusion of vulnerable households. It is in this context that the Ministry conducted awareness-raising sessions in the north and south of the region with the aim of informing, encouraging vulnerable populations to develop income-generating activities using the microfinance services offered by the Popular Box for saving and credit. Thanks to this initiative, 2,000 vulnerable households among the beneficiaries of cash transfer will receive through the CPEC an amount of 88,400 intended for the creation of their economic activity. Last Monday afternoon, the Ali Sabih Bilingual and Technological School hosted a ceremony of which the Regional Council handed over a large consignment of library books. The ceremony was attended by the prefect of the region, the president of the regional council, the head of the regional department, school heads of members of the management team, and the representative of the Djiboutian Freight Forwarders Association. The ceremony to hand over a large consignment of library books at all kinds began with the speeches by the regional authorities and other officials. First of all, the inspector thanked the regional authorities and in particular the president of the regional council for initiating this project. The authorities then stressed that the use of these books will help to promote reading among pupils in the various schools and urged the heads of the school to ensure that the books received are properly used and preserved. For the international scene, an Israel airstrike hit a residential building in Khan Yunis near a camp for displaced persons early on Thursday, killing at least one person and injuring several others, according to the Associated Press. Journalists on the scene. Ambulances carrying the injured rushed to Nasser Hospital in the south of Gaza City. Rescue teams in Gaza on Thursday continue to search for survivors after intense on the Yarmouk neighborhoods in the war between Israel and Hamas entered its 20th days. This war is the deadliest of the 5 Gaza wars for both sides. The Gaza Ministry of Health claims that more than 7,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war, a figure that includes the disputed death toll from a hospital explosion. The figure is more than 3 times the number of Palestinians killed in the 6-week Gaza war in 2014. The ministry's death toll includes more than 2,700 minors and more than 1,500 women. This Wednesday in New York, in front of the United Nations headquarters, Passers by could see a portrait of a woman to celebrate their role in peacekeeping. The exhibition features 50 portraits from around the world. The exhibition is being held to mark the 23rd anniversary of the Security Council Resolution 1325. This text marks an important step forward in recognizing the role of women in peace processes. 23 years on from this resolution, which aims to improve the protections of women during conflicts, the United Nations notes, however, that there is still a great deal of work to be done. 114 million people displaced by war and violence worldwide. More than 114 million people are currently forcibly displaced around the world. A record numbers of the United Nations announced on Wednesday the number of the people displaced by war, persecutions, violence, and human rights violations worldwide probably exceeded 1,014 million at the end of September, said the offices of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. In a statement, in the first half of 2023, population displacement were mainly caused by conflict in Ukraine, Sudan, Burma, and the Democratic Republic of Congo, but also by the continuing humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan and by a combination of drought, flooding, and insecurity. In Somalia, more than half of all displaced people have been forced to cross borders. The agency said that the three countries along Afghanistan, Syria, and Ukraine are home of almost a third of the world's displaced people. And this is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.